Welcome back to the channel, Union Arena players. My name is Damos, and today we have another ruling video. We do have an official ruling here today, courtesy of our level 0 judge, so thank you for that. This comes straight from Bandai. We also have a couple additional rulings regarding the new Black Clover and Bleach Volume 2 sets, so let's go ahead, take a look at the official ruling first. This one is Black Clover specific, so let's go ahead, look at the question. When using Yuno's when attacking ability and you reveal the site the Clover Kingdom, does the site come into play rested like stated on Yuno or active like stated on the Clover Kingdom? And if you're unsure of what Yuno's when attacking ability does, let's go ahead and read it. Reveal the top card of your deck, then place it on the top or bottom of the deck. If the revealed card is a green character or site with 3 required energy and 1 AP cost, you may place 1 card from your hand into your sideline. Then play the revealed card set to resting on your field, or perform raid with it instead. So, Yuno specifically plays a character or site, and in this case, the site rested. However, if you read the first line of the Clover Kingdom, it says play this site set to active onto your field. Now, we do have 2 conflicting effects here. Yuno plays the site set to resting. The Clover Kingdom says play it active. So which effect supersedes the other? Let's go ahead and take a look. The Clover Kingdom is played via Yuno's effect and is played active due to its own effect. Now, that is the official ruling straight from Bandai. In this specific scenario with these 2 cards, it does not really matter. The when played ability, sure, you'll be able to get from the Clover Kingdom. However, you cannot activate the activate main ability to switch it to resting to have all of your characters gain, because you're already attacking with Yuno, which means you're already in the battle phase. So this specific interaction doesn't really do anything. However, it is good to know for future interactions that the site being played set to active on the field will supersede the character ability to play it resting. The rest of the Black Clover rulings I have for you today have to do with this Noelle. Now, I've seen a couple questions come up with the Noelle, so let's go ahead jump into this. I raid Noelle and currently have 3 event cards in my sideline. If I activate an additional event afterwards, what effects does Noelle have? So let's read Noelle really quickly. If you have used an event card this turn, this character gains 1000 BP and impact 1 until the end of the turn. Then she has a when played. This character gains all abilities listed below until the end of the turn if you have the required number of events in your sideline. So 2 or more, this character cannot be blocked by a character with 3000 or less BP, and then 4 or more, your opponent must block this character's attacks if able. So the question says if they currently have 3 in the sideline at the time of raiding. So let's go ahead and dive into that. Now, the Noelle will have an additional 1000 BP and impact 1 because an event was used this turn. Additionally, in this scenario, Noelle will also gain the ability this character cannot be blocked by a character with 3000 or less BP. So, at the time the Noelle's when played ability was activated, there were only 3 events in the sideline. Therefore, this card will not gain the ability. Your opponent must block this character's attacks if able. So, because there was only 3 at the time this card was played, and it is a when played ability, then it will not gain that 4 or more ability. And as a final note, you do not have to raid this card first and then activate an event to have Noelle gain 1000 BP and impact 1 for the turn. This is the same as the raid Terrible Tornado that a lot of players have been using already and been using correctly. Now let's go ahead and jump into some Bleach Volume 2 rulings. This one specifically is going to be about Bambietta. Now, if I raid Bambietta over the color Bambietta and also have Giselle on my front line, can I use Giselle's activate main ability to send the raid Bambietta and then play the color Bambietta that will also be sidelined. So they want to use the activate main ability. Let's go ahead and read that real quick for Giselle. If on the front line, once per turn, sideline one character on your field without zombie affinity. The raid Bambietta does not have zombie affinity, so that works. If you do, play up to one character with zombie affinity from your sideline set to active onto your field. Now, if you see underneath the raid Bambietta, the color Bambietta does have the zombie affinity. So let's go ahead and take a look at the answer to this question. Yes, you may play the color Bambietta from your sideline, as Giselle's effect allows you to play up to one character with zombie affinity. You can sideline a character and choose not to play one. However, the color Bambietta is a valid target. Now, let's go ahead and get into another ruling regarding this same Giselle. The question is, can Giselle choose to sideline herself for the activate main ability and still be able to play a yellow character with zombie affinity? The question arises because the Giselle will sideline herself, and then there won't be a card on the field, and this confuses players if you will be able to resolve the second part of the effect to revive or play a zombie affinity yellow character. Let's go ahead and take a look at the answer. Yes, Giselle can sideline herself and still be able to resolve the rest of the ability to play a character. I've seen this question actually more than once, a couple times come up, so I wanted to get this one answered for you guys. We do have one more ruling regarding this Giselle. It's been causing a lot of questions to pop up, so let's go ahead and get into this. If I activate Giselle's activate main ability, do I need to fulfill the required energy of the character being played? Now, if you're unsure on this answer, that's totally fine. You're definitely not the only one. Let's go ahead and take a look. The answer is no. Giselle does not state you need to have the required energy to be able to play the character with the activate main ability. This card would specify if it needed you to have the required energy. Certain cards do specify that you have to be generating the energy, like the Unohana from Bleach Volume 1. However, Giselle does not, and therefore you do not have to be generating the energy. For example, if you are only generating 2 energy and you use Giselle's ability to sideline a character, you are allowed to play a character with more than 2 energy. That's all I have for rulings today. Make sure, if you haven't already, check out the survey I put together in the description below, and I really appreciate everyone coming and checking out the channel. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys in the next video.